Dear veterinarian, welcome to Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor Head Veterinary Medicine. The lecture is on theileriosis part 2. It is a protozoal disease. We will discuss in this lecture transmission, pathogenesis and various forms of clinical findings. First we will see transmission, how disease is transmitted from tick to the cattle and buffaloes. During summer, there is higher activity of ticks because that is a hot humid climate is very much favorable to ticks. So not only the higher activity, but there is development also, and there is fast multiplication of ticks during hot humid climate. There is a transstadial transmission, that is stadium to stadium transmission or state to state transmission. From nymph, larva and adult transmits the infection to their various stages. The infection from the tick larva to nymph to adult. This is the state to transmission, transstadial transmission. We have already seen in life cycle there is a sporogony and gametogony in the salivary gland of tick. While in lymphocyte and RBC, in invertebrate hood, that is cattle and buffalo, there is schizogony. We continue with the transmission. Erythrocytic form along with the blood, the RBC contain the infection, is ingested by larva or nymph stage of the tick. Subsequent stage of the tick, the nymph and adult or nymph or adult. Then after feeding on the infected animal, they are feeding on the healthy animal, and thus they transmit the disease. The incubation 9 to 15 days following tick transmission. The congenital transmission is also occasionally observed. Mechanical transmission also occur by infected needles. So as a clinician, we have to be careful for giving vaccination or for giving injection or for any other purposes. When we use the needle, we have to change the needle or sterilize the needle properly. Coming to the important part, pathogenesis, we already know that theileriosis is transmitted through the bite of tick from infected animal to normal animal. There is an entry of sporozoite stage in the blood circulation of the cattle and buffalo. The entry of this organism into the RBC, and then there is anemia, important finding, important pathology. Multiplication in lymphocytes and forms a schizone. This is another important point. The infected lymphocyte ruptures because the schizones are large in size. The schizones are released and infect the other lymphocytes. Some schizones are differentiated into the merozoites. There is rapid multiplication of schizones, and that causes severe damage and the lysis of lymphocytes. Sometimes it is manifested by highly lymphopenia. Clinical findings in cattle and buffaloes. There are various forms. The reason behind these various forms is variety type of immunological status, right from complete immune animals to mild immunity to moderate immune to highly immune. So depending upon the immunity, there are various forms. First, we see peracute or acute forms, and this form is very common in exotics, a severe form, and to some extent less in crossbreed forms. Sometimes the indigenous cows also suffer from acute form. These forms last for 3 to 4 days and even up to 20 days. First sign is important finding is fever. Fever is either continuous or intermittent. Intermittent means there is a period of fever, then animal become normal, again period of fever, normal like this. And this fever persists for 1 to 3 weeks. So fever is the important finding. Other signs are also there, but they are not suggestive of the disease. As with other disease, the symptoms are fine. The same symptoms are found here also. Inappetence, cessation of rumination, rapid heartbeat, and that is because of the anemia. Weakness, reduced milk production, serous nasal discharge, coughing, labor breathing, restlessness. Like this, common symptoms are also observed. In continuation with the clinical forms and various forms, peracute or acute form, another important symptom along with fever is enlargement of superficial lymph node. There is swelling of draining lymph node, usually the parotid and generalized lymph adenopathy and edema of the eyelids. So enlargement of superficial lymph node is observed, important symptom, diagnostic symptom. Other important symptoms are marked anemia. Clinicians find the paleness of the mucous membrane. Lysis of RBC leads to hemoglobinuria and there is red urine. Release of hemoglobin causes bilirubinemia because bilirubin is the product of hemoglobin called jaundice. Bilirubinuria, that yellow pigment appear in urine. So urine will be high yellow colored and there is icterus of conjunctiva with petechial hemorrhage. This is also a diagnostic symptom. Animal manifest diarrhea with blood and mucus in feces. There is great emaciation because of the high fever and starvation. There is emaciation. There is a recumbency, great weakness. Sometimes there is prostration and death usually within 3 weeks of infection, and that is observed in exotic and crossbred animals. It is well known that various types of forms depend upon the immunity status of the animal. Now here, subacute form. The fever is irregularly intermittent for about 15 days, then the animal recovers. So death is not observed. Another form is a chronic form, lasts for a long time, not much severe. Intermittent fever, inappetence, marred emaciation, some degree of anemia, and icterus for about a month or longer. A mild form, there is mild fever, inappetence, digestive disturbance, lacrimation for a few days, and moderate anemia. So various forms of disease depend upon the immunological status of the animal. In occasional cases, the nervous form is also observed. This seisoned is sludging or trapped in the capillary of the brain, and that lead to ischemia, degeneration. So there is nervous form. There is brain involvement occur and are characterized by nervous symptoms. An important symptom is circling. It is occasionally found, not in all animals. And due to this circling, the disease is called as turning sickness. The synonym is turning sickness, or technically cerebral thylaeresis, and that occur due to presence of seisoned in cerebral capillaries. The nervous signs are predominating, and the brain impression smear reveal quatch blue bodies. That is important for diagnosis. Few cases show the cutaneous form. In the cutaneous form, there are typical urticaria type of the skin diseases are observed, and some cases shows hemoglobinuria. Now, what are the symptoms in sheep and goat? The symptoms in sheep and goat are to a more extent similar to cattle and buffaloes. The acute form, there is high fever, nasal discharge, anemia, jaundice, atony of rumen, weakness, transitory hemoglobinuria, petechial hemorrhage on abomasal mucosa, edema of lungs, and enlargement of lymph nodes. So symptoms are more or less similar to that of cattle and buffaloes. The thylaeresis also occur in equine horses. The major symptoms are fever, anemia, jaundice, and hemoglobinuria, almost same as that of cattle and buffaloes. Friends, share this video to veterinarians and veterinary students. Requested to subscribe the channel. Thank you very much for observing this video. Next time I will be with thyroidiasis part 3. Thanks.